Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I think somebody else popped in here. Oh, here we are. Ference, here we are. Yeah, does everyone else get a time change? There's one province in Canada that just started it this year that they're like, we're gonna stay stuck in the I can't remember if they were stuck in the fall or stuck in the spring.
I think if U.S. politicians can get their act together and agree on anything, they actually would probably do away with it all. And
yeah, because Phoenix doesn't have it. That's it. That's all I know. Arizona doesn't have it. Just because my sister
just said he'll be on in a minute.
Who did?
Stephen.
Oh, okay. Got a full house. Well, that's good because we're flying through space and it might make some people sick. So if you want me to go to a still background, I can go to a still background.
You know, I mean, it's kind of cool right now, but for, 60 minutes, it might be a little bit much. Who knows where we'll end up, if we're traveling at light speed or something.
No kidding. I feel like the more people there are, the less it'll be apparent. But there's also this one. Hold on. Oh, this is greenery. It's slower though. What's this one? Showing them all. Oh no, kaleidoscope. That's bad. I think we'll go back to this one. Yeah.
All right, we've landed.
And Stephen has landed too.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey.
Hi.
So we are reading Project Hail Mary, and I have that version. I wonder how I can show you the large screen version. I've got that version loaded in the top right-hand corner of the copy they made of the hardcover with like, I don't know, like designs on the binding and stuff like that for the real nerds. Do you guys have that one?
That's what the paperback looks like.
Right.
That's the one I have.
I mean, I'm listening to it on Audible on my second go round through it, which I'm actually finding to be more enjoyable.
So you're going to have the paperback version as well?
Well, I read the paperback version, I want to say in 2023.
Oh, that's right.
But I forgot so much of it, listening to it again. I forgot so much of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, it's so memorable because, like, I don't know, like, not even like a chapter in, he already says the word penis.
Different things get different people's attention, I guess.
Maybe you got Men in Black White.
He also used the word urethra.
Exactly. Also urethra.
Sometimes our calls don't go the way I anticipated, and definitely this would be one of them.
That's the fun part. Okay, I'm gonna let someone else lead because I haven't gotten through much of the book. I think I'm on chapter 3, so he hasn't even met his
That's
friend yet.
early
That's
on.
exactly where I am, Benita,
Oh,
chapter
get
3.
out. It's like we're on the same
Oh
schedule.
man, you got a lot of fun coming up.
Oh, goody.
Oh boy.
You know,
Looking
I
forward.
mean, I don't, I, you know, it's, I want, I I will finish it, you know, the second time through. I'll finish it listening tomorrow, because I'm just speeding through, you know, walking on Audible. But um, if you feel like it's like it's interesting and that's a whole bunch of science. Once he, Ryland Grace, the astronaut, meets
Or Ryan
Martin,
Gosling.
the alien, you know, the book takes a completely, I think at that point, you know, forward, it reaches the can't put it down stage.
Oh, wow. In this case,
I'm
oh,
I'm
go
at
ahead.
chapter 13. So they've been starting to do their interacting. So yeah, I agree.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed. Michelle was reading
Oh, that
Ast-
book's on the
yeah.
shelf. I only read that on my way in, and I feel bad that I haven't picked it back up. But it's an actual physical book, which it's much easier for me to multitask with Audible. And I'm really enjoying this book, so I'll have to pick the other one back up.
Yeah, no, I do that all the time. Put them down. That's why I have a collection on my night table. So that I have a few to choose from whenever I'm, feeling it.
Well, I would say, I mean, our next call is the 25th, and I can't speak to movie theaters outside of the States.
Okay,
But
well, let's Google them up.
the release in the States of the movie is the 20th. And, if you do plan on trying to see the movie before our next call, so you got like a 4-day window in there, definitely finish the book before you see
Yes.
the movie.
In Canada. I needed to add in Canada. Because we are what? We're caught up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's March 20th as well. So I better plan my movie date. Never plan my movie date. So to encourage people to read the book and watch the movie, I bumped into a flight attendant that had the book out on her lap when she sat down. And I was going to the washroom, so I noticed. I was like, "That's the book we're reading for book club." And she was like, "Really?" She's like, "Did you read this other one?" She's like, "I watched the movie, but I didn't read that one." I was like, "Me too." So we're both gonna read The Martian as well. And she seemed to really enjoy his writing as well.
One of the things I was curious about, because I mean, it's a lot of science, and I mean,
Speculative.
it's science that's over my head, but
But it's
trying to
speculative.
research a
Some of
little
it is
bit.
not true.
Well, there's two aspects to it. There's the hard science,
Okay.
which is
Real.
where there's lots of math on stuff that we know, and all that stuff that's still over my head. And apparently the hard science is all accurate.
Oh, okay.
And
Like,
the speculative science is of course debatable.
okay. So like the gravity and all that was accurate?
Yeah,
Okay.
according to just kind of doing some Google searches out of
Oh, wow. Look at
curiosity,
you.
because this would be a book that, someone who was an astronaut, an astrophysicist, a scientist, would say, well, would say the book was horrible if they disagreed with a lot of the science behind it. But what I think he does really well is he relates the science, but it doesn't get boring.
Right.
You know, you don't have to grasp it to understand, you know, the importance of as you get further and further into the book, how much they have to rely on science for problem solving their way out of unexpected situations.
Right. Yeah, like all those calculations we did in grade school, we needed it if we were going to be an astronaut.
Oh man, maybe I should have invited my daughter to skip school today and listen to this because she's in the fight about not wanting the math part. And I'm like, but you're gonna
Oh,
need it, honey, when you're an astronaut.
yeah, when you're
She
an
was
astronaut.
They go to this place called Starbase, which is on the um, Air Force Base here, and they teach kids all kinds of STEM stuff. And one of them is that they get to fly a flight simulator. And she came beaming through the door the other day, told me that she was the only kid in her class to land it. And I was
Oh,
like, dang, girl, good for you. And
nice.
I'm like, well, maybe you have to switch up your ideas of what you want to be when you grow up. She's like, I don't know if you want to trust me. I go, well, the rest of the kids crashed it, honey. I think we're better off trying you out. So I thought that was interesting.
Cool. Yeah, she needs to read this book too. Yeah, so that was an interesting part of it, is like part speculative, but part hard science as well.
Mhm.
I like that.
One of the things I think that he does, and I'm trying to identify things to talk about that aren't spoilers. One of the things I think he does artfully well as an author is weave the current state with the flashbacks that he has. So, you know, when he comes out of the induced coma to get him to travel, 4 years, he can't remember things, and
No,
they
I can't even
start coming
remember his
back to
name.
him in flashbacks. And the way the story starts weaving together, how he remembers critical things that lead up to how he actually even got on the spaceship in the first place, with the real life things. I'm almost at the end. I got an hour to go on the Audible version. They all start coming together, and it's really it's a really artful literary device that he uses there, I think.
Yeah, no, I admire that kind of stuff.
And I'm used to seeing this in movies, but he has a very talented way of translating it into literature, to your point, Hal.
Mhm. And the only thing that I found a little, I would have liked, it doesn't take away from, the story at all, is that when you're listening to it on Audible, when he has a flashback, so he recalls something, from the coma-induced amnesia that he had. There's no transition. It's like he's in
No.
present day and then boom, he's back. Now, after you listen to or read a sentence or two, you go, oh yeah, this is a flashback. But
Right.
usually what an author will say, they'll say, a
What
date
year it was.
in the
Yeah.
past. So
Right.
there's a transition to the flashback.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you have to get your bearings about you when he does that, because at first I was like, wait a minute, did I skip over something?
One thing I found interesting is, or just enjoyable, is recounting how like delicious a food tastes or something. Like when he
Oh,
gets it, he just
right.
like goes into such detail about, I don't know what this mess is, but it is delicious and I need more of it. I think it's just very interesting how, because you imagine coming back from, that type of state and having your first back interactions with things that you enjoyed, or your senses coming back alive. I thought that was an interesting, I mean,
Right.
I'm listening to it, but I can imagine if you were reading the book as well, that it would be an enjoyable,
I
the
think
same
that's
to
part of
describe it.
the Michelle, I think that's just part of the overall sensory like experience that he wants you to put like yourself in his shoes.
It worked, man.
They say that I remember like years back when I was learning how to write my first post. They said the ones that do the best are the ones that make the reader feel. And so when you use your sensory and you tell them what it felt like and what it smelt like and what you heard, they get a lot deeper than if otherwise. But things have changed so much now. It's like you can't take the advice of even 2 years ago
Or 6 months ago.
or
for that
6 months
matter.
ago on LinkedIn. Like, yeah, they reward such different things now. I'm not sure I'm happy about it. It's like they reward ADD. Can you see this? I'm gonna try to bring it up. Go ahead and talk, guys.
Well, as you get further into the book, food becomes an important topic.
Oh,
I won't go further.
well, I'm sure there's going to be a shortage. Oh, what?
Where you guys are in the book, have you met Strat yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Strat's a critical character.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Next time. It's so good. Yeah.
Okay, well, just we're going to talk about, like, all the newspapers are talking about it.
Well, without getting in, again, trying to avoid, any spoilers, how Ryland Grace actually ends up on the mission, because, they're training other astronauts. He's not, a planned participant in the voyage.
Oh, interesting.
And the relationship that he has with Strat is hilarious. Strat is basically the person, she is the person on Earth who has full control over getting Project Hail Mary launched to solve the problem.
I want to be her when I grow up, Hal.
and don't take this the wrong way. I'll run far away from you.
Fantastic. I mean, and that's not fair because I haven't finished it. I don't know what she's up to later, but her presence makes me like smile. I laugh all the time.
Oh, I wonder who's going to play her. Let's try to figure it out.
I'm sure you can get a cast. Yeah, you can get a list of the cast.
03/2026 for IMAX. Oh, look at that. It's in different languages.
There's an actress I do not know plays Strat. Sandra.
What's her name?
Sandra Huller, HU with the double dots above it, LLER. I don't know who that is.
Oh man, if Amy Adams is in this, I'm gonna love it.
Well, I don't see that.
Okay.
I forgot that her character is Dutch as well, which also lends something to this, I think.
Oh, really?
Women in I should say in my experience, being a woman in a man's occupation on the logistics side, having done some work in Netherlands and being pretty much ignored because I was the lady in the room and everyone spoke
why that happens?
and an American, so they all spoke English. or they all spoke Dutch while I was in the room, and my coworker was Dutch. So they wanted to speak with him, but he didn't have anything to do with the work we were doing. And so finally he did the, jovial like introductions and what have you. And then just like nothing changed. She just pretty much snapped his fingers and said, "And may I introduce?" And he switches completely to English and he's like, "And for the remainder of our time here, we're going to speak English as Michelle is the person who handles this. And I'm simply here to support her." And everyone's face is like, "Oh, come on, no." Because they were like getting on in Dutch so well and they were like so excited that they thought they had made a connection. And yeah, it's not necessary. I'm not saying it's completely like gender stuff, but there's definitely a little bit of
I didn't
that's
realize it
that's
was
not your
gender.
role.
Yeah, I didn't realize
That's
it was gender stuff.
my experience, but it
No,
doesn't
but
mean it's everyone's.
I've also had an experience, and Chris is gonna laugh because if he sees this, because we call it when we can't figure things out, they're just dutching around, man. And I really didn't know what that meant, but the gender thing makes sense, but that's how it is in every room, so I just didn't notice.
And Strat's character is very strong, so that makes me. I think that might be what it is that like just gets me, is that she is such a strong character. She does have the background that she has, and I just admire that, I guess, a little bit.
Do you think
And
this
I
would
want
work?
to make Hal run.
You want to make Hal what?
Run away.
He said he was going to run away if I was like Strat when I grow up.
Oh,
She's very clinical, which is, interesting.
Paris Jackson. These are just the people that were at the
Yeah, no,
cast.
Yeah, the cast list, are for the most part actors and actresses. I don't really recognize their names. Maybe a couple, but
It's just Ryan Gosling just plastered all over it.
well, I mean, a vast majority of the book, so the movie is going to be him and him alone, and then him interacting with Rocky the alien.
That's
Everything
such a
else is pretty much flashbacks where the other characters are
Oh.
participating.
How is it that we're just going through smut ads and not finding the real stuff?
I don't know. Maybe that's what it
Maybe
wants
it
to
was
serve
the
you up.
words that you.
After you said penis, that's what it wants to show you.
Oh, right. Yes. And your
That listening device,
And now I'm like, I never go through Us Weekly.
That's
No,
a word
I-
I never thought I'd say today.
I don't want. Oh, but I have a cat ad. A cat ad. That was from a Ference, I think. Being on this street.
So Michelle, you're on chapter 13, right? And Stephen
I am.
and Benita are on chapter 3. Ferens, where
Yep.
are you?
I'm around halfway through chapter 14.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There's 8 hours and 40 minutes left on mine, which seems
Yeah,
like
it's
a long
about
time.
halfway.
Yeah.
Time wise.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, gosh. Better get listening.
Yeah, I mean, if you liked the first half, you'll really like, in my opinion, you'll really like the second half. I mean, it really gets, as it gets further and further into the mission and what they're trying to solve, and the relationship between Ryland Grace, the astronaut, and the alien Rocky, their relationship develops into kind of this symbiotic relationship, because Rocky is not a scientist. He's an engineer by training from the planet he comes from.
Oh, interesting.
And, Ryland Grace is not an astronaut. He's a scientist, and so, they start relying on each other for their skills as after they develop, the ability to communicate, which takes quite some time.
Right.
Which I think is also pretty admirable because I mean, I live in a bilingual house and have for, 18 months now, and I know very little Japanese, which is pretty embarrassing. I feel like I should work on it. But we all speak English in the house, and my son has taken Japanese in school, and he knows some, but everybody just speaks English. And so the
You
only
should
time
do like a game where at dinner time you do it all in Japanese or something.
Oh boy. The kids would love that because they wouldn't have to talk and they would be like, okay, dinner's done, we're going home, we're going to our rooms. No, but yeah, just watching him develop the language in the book was interesting and just how they figured it all out. I found that to be like, wow, yeah, that's a different level of smart, you know? I think some people are just much better at picking up relationship of words when you're forced to. I don't know. And I know that my daughter Emma like learned English by watching Western media, and she just tried to figure out why they did a certain action when they said something, and she was all into the storyline and trying to follow it, and that's how she learned most of her English early on. And then she came to prefer English, which is interesting. She's still bilingual, but she prefers English.
Fair enough.
Interesting. Yeah, how the whole communication starts between the alien and the main character on the I don't know in which chapter, but they find each other and they realize that they have to talk to each other in one way or another. So it made me think, how often is that in real life we have all these difficult communication scenarios and difficult people, and we just can't find a way sometimes to get through someone, right? Because they think differently, they have another viewpoint, and I loved how resourceful they were and how they made it possible to communicate between each other. Both of them added their bits and pieces to the whole process, and both of them wanted to improve the communication, and they ended up talking pretty well after a couple of iterations. So I love that part.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Without giving stuff away, but what you'll find is that that the character, the alien Rocky, their species communicates in tones, in kind of musical notes.
Interesting.
The initial parallel that the character Ryland Grace draws is similar to the way whales communicate with each other.
Ah, right.
And so basically what he does, again, I don't think I'm giving something away here, he uses his computer to be able to start recording, the sounds in relation to the English words. And that's how they start building associations to start getting a common vocabulary where they can start to speak to each other.
Oh, cool. And then if this was written in 2023, did it talk about AI or ML, machine learning?
No, I mean they specifically. I mean they talk about the fact that the ship basically has to operate on autopilot because they put there's initially 3 crew members,
right,
and they're put into an induced coma, so they're kept alive robotically, and the ship just does its thing. But one of the things that Strat, that main character that Michelle brings up, that basically is responsible for getting this thing to save the planet launched, is that she purposely made decisions that would, that would be tried and true, long tested technology. This was not the time to test something that we didn't understand how it would work or how it would operate. I mean, that makes sense. This is your project. This is your Hail Mary pass, right?
Right.
It can't fail.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting coming from a tech background was the fact that they made a decision that the ship needed to be equipped with every single computer program available on the planet. That
Wow.
they, even if they didn't have to have it because of the mission, it was like non-negotiable. They're getting every single option they could possibly ever need, whether they used it or not. Which, if you think about the way that computer storage and things happen today, we're asked to minimize, right? Don't
Mhm.
keep anything you don't need, because server bandwidth, all the different things, all the storage capacity. But that was one of the decisions that was made, was that you
Right.
must have a copy of every single option. And I think that helps with what they're up to during the book, not to give away a bunch, but I found that very, very interesting. I'm like, that's a cue to the dorks out here that are like, yes. So that means, well, and I think of your question, like that means maybe AI wasn't going to solve it all. Who knows?
Right. I feel like we're lost in space right now. Do you like this background? I do.
Yeah, that's cool. What is it supposed to be of?
It's like mountains and then space, stars in the distance. Yeah. Yeah. So I could see that being the case. If you don't know what tools you need to solve a problem with, you got to bring everything. And I'm figuring out that they're probably saving humanity. And the Martian was the same too, wasn't it? No. The Martian.
No, I mean that was just a mission where he got stranded on the planet with no way of Mars, with no way to get back, and had to try to figure out how to survive.
I remember he was growing things.
Growing potatoes. Yeah,
Yeah.
learned how to grow potatoes.
And which one was that actor?
That was Matt Damon.
Oh, right. Um, yeah, no, I feel like as I'm read to this book, I feel like it's like a made for a Ryan Gosling movie. And I think it's maybe because I saw the trailer, I don't know. But everything that I'm imagining has Ryan Gosling in it. And I just recently watched a bad movie with him in it, so I didn't know such a thing existed. But everyone has a bad one, I guess.
Well, I think it's, I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but I think it's probably good casting because the character needs to be someone who is serious, but, can be, have a goofy sense of humor and be able to
Right.
portray that well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be plausible as a high school science teacher.
Right.
He published a paper that was critically panned about, the science behind his paper, that his paper was supposed to be about something that life forms do not necessarily need water.
Water, right.
Right. So he's got to be sort of this, it's a character that has to be someone who, is a little bit ego challenged, and is getting their satisfaction because they didn't get it from the scientific community, by being able to teach high school kids science in a fun way that becomes an expert. Because of that paper that got panned, he becomes an expert on what is killing off the planet.
Okay.
And so he ends up on the team, not on the mission. He ends up on the team to be able to, participate in what's going to be the launch.
Right, because he wrote the groundbreaking paper that
and did the research on the substance that is actually, causing the sun to lose its power.
Oh, that's right. The sun was diminishing.
Right.
And they chose a Canadian for it. Sorry, you had to add that.
I think we can all probably say that our high school science teachers were probably of a special breed, like this guy.
Yeah.
All of mine were. And they're still cool people, even after retirement. Like some of them still live locally, and I run into them, and you can just see there's all kinds of magic going on behind their eyes when they think of things. I don't know. It makes me smile because they're full into what they do. Even in retirement, they're like growing things and doing stuff at their homes that are, growing things. A lot of them grow things that are now legal in the United States and in Canada.
Oh, interesting. I can't imagine Mr. Sweeney at the grocery store. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any of my teachers.
Small town Southern Canada, Benita.
I know. That's cool. I know, like I picture the Gilmore Girls where you live.
My best friend's married name is Gilmore. Oh, that makes me laugh.
So fun. And Ferenc would be amused to know that if his cat got outside and lost, the radio station would probably pick him up and announce over the radio where his cat was.
I know where he is, always close to his food.
That's true, right?
Unless he's close to the litter box.
I have to keep my distance from Griffin because his snores are so loud that it picks up on my earbuds sometimes.
What?
I think he has apnea.
Get a humidifier, Michelle. I promise
I have one in my bedroom, but he doesn't sleep in there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's always sort of sounded like this. He's kind of.
I got a humidifier because it's so dry in Calgary, and Louis, he's like his snoring has stopped.
Hey, Louis. It's like, Mom, stop talking about me.
Yeah. Well, I wish we could do a watch party. It is an Amazon movie, isn't it? But it's going to only be in the theaters. And I guess Hal's wife wouldn't want to sit around with us and eat popcorn.
I'll have to ask her about that.
Stephen, why does Stephen keep disappearing and coming back? I don't get it. And then there's this like thing, like it's thinking about you, Stephen, but it doesn't know whether to show your picture or not. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm trying to come up with things that aren't spoilers. So there was a word that's used often in describing the character of the alien Rocky, and it's carapace. I had no idea. I couldn't figure out what in the world a carapace is, but he keeps referring to Rocky's carapace in how it moves, and and the best parallel is a turtle shell.
Oh,
So if that was a new word for you, that was I think the only word I had to go. I got to look that up because I can't get a visual on that one.
do you Google now, or do you still have a dictionary beside your
Oh.
book?
No, I mean the dictionary somewhere on the shelves, but I don't think they've seen the light of day in years.
Cara, is it with a K?
Carapace.
Now you have me wanting to break down the root of that.
Huh.
Because it's the main body of the character, and he keeps
Right.
referring to how Rocky's carapace moves, differently when he's expressing different types of emotions.
Interesting.
So,
And you can use it in an abstract way as well, like a protective, decorative, or disguising shell. The carapace of reserve he built around himself. That's interesting. Yeah, no, words are fun. Words are fun.
Latin carabas and Spanish carapacho. Am I butchering that?
So has anybody heard from Aura recently?
Aura just went on back-to-back conferences because she's a superstar. So she toured Vegas, and then she toured Long Beach, and she's probably recovering.
I bet she loved this book. That's why I thought of her.
Yeah, we should tell her in the chat. It's not too late. She should have been listening to it on the plane. I should have reminded her. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to. I don't know. It's almost like I use these meetings as like book club membership meetings as well. And I'm wondering, like, what do we do with the people in the book club that don't participate? Do we just leave them in there, or do I do the once a year clean out, or I don't know. I'm thinking about it for all of my groups.
I mean, I would say that if someone hasn't participated in 6 to 12 months, you could probably drop them out of the group chat. I mean, if you want to take the extra step, but I'm not suggesting you should feel the need to do this. You can always send them a note saying, "Hey, unless I hear otherwise, I'm going to drop you," type of thing. But
did I send that note already in this group? I can't remember.
I don't remember seeing it.
Okay.
I do. I think you did.
Oh, I did? Okay.
I think some people popped back in.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no, I should do that because I know that Yulia really wants to participate. And I don't know what her holdup is, but when I figure it out, then I'm going to accommodate her in whatever way she wants.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of people who expressed a whole lot of interest, and so I sent them the information and sent them the links and sent them the list of books and all that kind of stuff, and then they just don't show up. So I'm not going to chase them, but
no, it's like you give them the tools.
yeah.
I get the feeling that it's something mental. It's a mental hang up. Like
I would venture to guess that because you don't know us as a group, you might feel a little intimidated or it's just the pressure of I don't know if I'll be able to finish the book, or I'm so busy,
right, or keep up with Hal's conversation.
No, don't go there.
Match his intellect. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but I mean, here's an example. I read this book, let's say about 2.5 years ago, and I remembered very little of it because I read it and didn't talk to anybody about it and moved on,
right.
right? But in anticipation of talking about it, a book, and then
You get a lot
actually
more.
talking about it, you get a lot more out of it, and so that the retention is much higher.
It
I can
is.
remember, books that we've read as part of book club and discussed much longer than other books I've read where it was just, me inside my head and that was the end of the conversation.
Yeah, I think it enriches the reading experiences when you talk to other people about it.
Definitely. I think first you have to read, then you have to take notes, and then the third and fourth step is to explain the concepts to someone else and to discuss it with someone who already read it. What is that they saw from their perspective, right? So one of the advantages that we all have different backgrounds and circumstances, but also a lot of similarities. So whenever we read anything, I see it from my angle, but you see it from yours, and there are intersections, but there are whole new things that I discovered during these conversations that I wasn't aware of.
Totally. I love that. The only thing missing is I wish somebody could bake cookies and we could share them. That's a counterpoint. That's a counterpoint to Avel's strategy. Yeah, let's talk about that. What can you apply that we've learned from this book to real life or leadership? Or because I noticed that when I read a review, it was the morals are very simple. The morals of the book are very simple. So what can we apply today that we got from this book? Maybe a reminder. It can be something very, very simple.
Yeah, I
Have
think one of the.
curiosity. Sorry.
Sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead, Michelle.
I said have curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them, and also be open and I think a lot of lessons on communication, stakeholder management in general. The two guys, so the astronaut and Rocky, the alien, couldn't be more different. How they communicate, how they what they know about the world, how they experience the whole world, how they sense it. But they managed to, because they have a common goal, they managed to find a way to understand each other. And we humans have way more common things in our lives, yet there are many scenarios in a project or even at home when you just don't find a way to get through to the other person, right? So I think one of the key lessons is that if both of you are working towards the same goal and both of you understand that you might see and sense things differently, then it's way easier to get your points through and to get to some conclusions.
What a great point. The next time I'm having a conversation with someone and I don't seem to be getting through to them, I should just picture them as Rocky.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Picture them as Rocky and then maybe get some patience. Oh, now there's two Stevens. Yeah, no, and that's the other point about them being different disciplines, like a scientist and an engineer, which are sometimes they don't get along because of an ego thing or whatever, you know.
You know,
And
they both end up teaching each other throughout,
right.
Yes.
and they both learn to appreciate what the other person is able to contribute to the fact that they both ended up needing each other to survive and to and work on what the solution is going to need to be to save their planets. Because if you haven't gotten this far, Rocky is from this planet that Grace makes up the name Arid for it, and their star, their sun, is also dying from this. They learn that they're there for this. They're there for the same reason, to solve
Different sun.
different sun, different solar system.
Oh,
You know,
interesting.
but they both have the same problem.
Yeah, that's cool. Especially when like two aliens from different universes or solar systems come together to solve a problem. And then on Earth, I mean, I'm just saying what Ference said in different words. On Earth, it's like we're like still fighting over land or whose beliefs are better.
Right. Well, I mean, you think about it, again, avoiding giving away too much. If the planet Earth is if the sun is dying, and the effects on Earth are going to be massive climate change resulting in massive weather events, whole food ecosystems die off, right? There's not going to be enough food for the planet, for the humans on the planet to survive before the humans just start dying from the catastrophic event. Well, will humanity band together to try and solve the problem, or will countries hoard what they have
Right.
and try to maximize what they had? Many of the wars that happened, many years ago, were land conquests to get more food.
Yeah, no.
So would the people who are still alive and in power on the planet go to war with each other because you're trying to save you're trying to save your people, and damn the rest of the world.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like on the topic, you know how some people are like think local but act global or whatever. I'm kind of like I think pessimistically on this, but I act positively.
I mean, human nature, and it comes out in the book, at least it does to me. The lesson that human nature is one where we're basically, generous people until such time as we're individually threatened.
Yeah, we think there's
And
scarcity.
then it's survival of me and damn everybody else.
Yeah, you see it when
And will the worst of if we had a catastrophic event like is played out in this book, how would human nature actually respond to it? And arguably it probably wouldn't be positively.
no, like we see many versions of it like in corporations and stuff.
I think we all thought that COVID was apocalypse light, and we screwed it up pretty good for a little while.
Yep.
So.
But one thing good that came out of COVID is this book club started. And within the I can't say walls, within the walls of this room, within the studio or within Zoom or whatever, we kept it going. And like, I feel like if our spirit animal is that Labrador retriever with the Patagonia vest, I think we're doing good. Michelle F was just added to this. Are you guys doing something?
Hey, no, I think I'm having tech issues with my restream. It kept kicking me out, and I couldn't hear you guys. It just froze. I had to
Oh
keep refreshing my browser, and then rinse and repeat the same cycle like 10 times.
At,
Sorry
at
for the
one
constant
point, we saw two
disappearing.
of you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, sorry for the constant disappearing.
not your fault.
No, I wonder what, like, I wonder, there's a lot of changes that are like on the design of Restream. I wonder what they are. And I mean, this might be the year that we add another person, right? Ference? Somebody. Um, it would be kind of cool to see if Ference had the controls and he was in Malaga, but the rest of us were in like the North American hemisphere, how it would work that way. Because I'm just in Canada and we have these technical difficulties, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
I think it wouldn't have any impact, but
No?
no,
Okay.
I don't think so. But we can experiment. That's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. Also, yeah, no, in the laws of human nature, that's going to be good.
Yeah, that's one where I'm rushing to finish another book because I want to get a jump start on that one because that one is pretty hefty.
Why
Yes,
do you
it's
want to get a
600
jump
pages
start?
and also with the tiniest letters that you have ever seen. So,
Oh, no.
yeah. But it's all worth it. It's not something that you would go through in one sitting, obviously, but it's really worth it, especially that now when everything is oversimplified and everything is just 10 seconds long and people are trained to watch 20 seconds long videos and form opinion based on that. A book
Okay.
that speaks about human behavior for 600 pages, I think that has a lot of value. So and because of a lot of anecdotes and a lot of aspects of the book and how the author describes human psychology and behavior, you can connect it with pretty much every other book we are reading in the book club. Definitely with
Yeah.
1929, and even with this one, there's a lot of things. I mean, all of the things we do at the end of the day, it ties into psychology, right? So it's a good one, but it's a good idea to start it with it rather sooner than later. It's because it's not something that you will finish off during a weekend.
So book or audio for you, Ference?
Physical book, definitely for me. It's also something I want to keep on the shelf later on to
Yeah, me
revisit from time
too.
to time. And I don't see myself listening to 50 hours of psychology. So physical book it is.
Okay. Everyone else?
I mean, I managed to. I actually have the book in my Kindle library. I got it for like a $2.99 or something like that when it was on sale one time. But you know, I'm gonna check the book out of the library because I want to read it in physical form. I think my retention's a little better than on an ebook for me.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get into library books yet because the need for me to write in margins and highlight is too great.
Library book for me, for obvious reasons.
Right. Michelle?
I don't dare go to look at my Audible to see if it's in there because I don't want to disconnect. It seems if I do anything on my phone when I'm connected to Restream, it boots me. So I don't recall if I stuck it in my Audible yet, but it's either that or checking out one of the online library references to see if I can access it that way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's like a phone version, maybe.
Unless you're using a credit right now on Audible, it's $18 and it's 28.5 hours.
Oof.
Wow.
Yikes. Maybe I'll be using the chat to give me a summary.
You'll be going and you'll be listening an hour a day
That's a bit much for me.
for a month.
An hour a day. No, I can.
But I think that's one of the values of the book, going in really deep on the topics as opposed to being superficial and listing 5 bullet points on things.
Right.
Yeah, it takes time, but it's worth it.
Totally. Okay. In the interest of getting everyone to their next meeting, let's end the virtual book club, and we will meet back here after we watch the movie on the 20th and discuss like both together on the 25th. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.